Good morning and welcome to Wellness Wednesday mornings with Luann and him.
I'm Tim. Hello.
Hope you're having an awesome morning. Huge thank you this morning to Casey Security for sponsoring the show for us. Guys, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
We do so.
We do so. You have such a great guest coming up. We were just chatting a little bit and he just
Well,
like his
I
energy.
feel like I've had 3 cups of coffee.
Yeah, he's awesome.
His name is Nick Brash, and you're going to really enjoy the interview and
he's
the energy
awesome.
and the story and
Yeah. You know how kids, because I know you know kids and how much you love them. Ashton Kutcher, the actor.
I know who Ashton Kutcher is, and he's with Mila, what's her name?
Kunis.
That's the one.
Yes. They have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
I did not know that they actually had children together.
Yes. So he was picking up the 4-year-old and dangerous child that she is, he broke his toe.
He broke his toe lifting his child up?
Yeah. I guess what happened was
Did he drop her on his foot?
No, yeah, that's what I thought. I went, that kid needs to lose some weight, maybe. I'm just saying. Came into bed.
Yeah.
And I guess their rule is, calm her down and stuff, but then bring her back to her own bed.
Oh, she wanted to go sleep with mommy and daddy kind of thing. Yeah.
So he got up and didn't realize his leg had fallen asleep and went down.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's kind of funny.
So he's laying there, writhing around.
How's the little girl, though?
Well, that's scary. You know what? I'm reading the article and I went, well, how's the kid? Right?
Did he toss her out of the bed as he went?
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah.
So he just said he was rolling around a little bit in pain. He said his toe was sticking like straight sideways. So
he broke it badly.
Yeah. So he said to Mila, I think you're going to have to put her to bed. So
he hung on to her.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Just like a good
He grew a mustache or something. Did you see the picture of him with a mustache? I'm going to like.
No, I don't like it either. So Mila says to him after the babies or the daughters calm down again and stuff, and they're figuring out, okay, we got to get you to. She goes, that was the sexiest thing I've ever seen you do.
Be a hero like that?
Yes. I guess he must have just scooped up the baby and, see?
That's the sexiest thing.
Well, you know what? There's nothing sexier than a dad who's a good dad and good looking, but who's a great dad.
But the broken toe thing would turn me right off the sexiness of it.
I'd be like, nah.
Ashton Kutcher, he could be picking his nose and he's sexy, don't you think?
I do think.
I'm sorry, it's breakfast.
Actually, yum.
We talked about this last week because, Valerie Harper passed away.
Yes.
On this date in 1977, this was the episode where Rhoda got divorced.
Oh, really?
1977, yeah.
Wow.
Hey, I also, last night, it was one of those nights, kind of gloomy, a little bit rainy. I thought, I'm going to watch a horror movie.
Really?
Yes, so I curled
up.
Do
you like them?
No, I love them.
Me too.
And I curled up in my bed and I watched the worst movie, Don't Waste Your Time. The Amityville Murderers. I watched it on Netflix. Just don't.
So that's a sequel to Amityville.
It's like a prequel to Amityville Horror.
Oh, it's a prequel.
It's about the whatever their name was, Italian family, something or other.
Doofuses?
No, the DeFeus or the DeFeus or the whatever their name was. They were the family who owned the house where the son shot his siblings and his mother and father face down in their beds.
Oh.
And he tried to declare that he was insane at the time, but he was found guilty of second-degree murder and he's spending life in prison. He's still there. Anyway, he was a drug addict. They were talking about trying to get him to a methadone clinic and stuff. He was doing everything. He was dropping acid. He was shooting heroin. He was smoking pot. So he was obviously having issues, right? So there was some mental health issues, but brought on by substance misuse.
Right.
And he murdered everybody with a shotgun.
Oh my gosh!
I know.
So that's the history of the house.
Then the next family moved in, and they were the ones who survived 28 days and said, "There's something wrong with this house."
Right.
But that's all. Then they wrote a whole story about the Italian grandmother who bought the house and built it with and that was played by Lainey Kazan.
What?
Yeah, but I knew Lainey Kazan from the 1960s. She was Barbra Streisand's understudy and Funny Girl, and then she went on to comedy, and now she's playing this Italian grandma. It's a horrible film. The acting is horrible. The writing is horrible. Don't everything about it. Do not watch the Amityville Murders. You will never get that 2 hours of your life back. And here's what they do.
So you had a good time.
And you know what they do at the end of the movie is it's not bad enough that you watch, and they don't show him shooting his siblings.
Right.
They show him shooting his mother and father, but they don't show him shooting the siblings, which is like, I don't want to see you murder your 8-year-old sister and your 7-year-old brother.
Oh.
Guess what they do at the end of the film?
What?
while they're putting up all the things about, and then on this, and he's in prison, and this is what happened to them, and while they're showing that in the background, they're showing the actual police photographs of all the dead bodies. This is how they end. It's just don't do it.
Oh, that sounds nasty. How old was he?
When he did that? When he murdered them all?
Yeah, was he like an
early 20s?
Oh, so he had some young siblings.
18, 16, 9.
Oh, and he did everybody.
Did them all.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know. There was another massacre I read about. This is interesting. On this day in 1857.
Look, he's all excited about a massacre.
I had no idea the Americans killed other Americans. I mean, I knew about the Civil War, but this is before the Civil War. 1857 was called the Mountain Meadows Massacre. It was at the southern Utah. Okay, so the Mormons had already arrived, and they'd settled, and they'd sort of become friends with the southern I learned how to say it earlier. Paiute. That's the indigenous peoples who live there. So, okay, the Mormons were all settled in this area. Then you get wagon trains from like Arkansas on their way to California. So the guys, the Mormons, were all like, they called it like pre-Civil War fear or whatever. Everybody was like, my land, my land, my. So the Mormons decide that they're going to dress up like the indigenous people and attack the wagon trains to stop them from coming into their territory.
And so the natives.
So the white guys dressed up, and they actually convinced some of the natives to join them in the attack.
Holy!
Because they probably said, they're going to take over, and they won't be nice to you as we are. Whatever they said.
Right.
Look, there's a drawing of it. So they figured they're just going to like attack them, and they're all going to go away. Whatever. It ended up being a 5-day siege.
Oy.
And over the 5 days, the leader of the Mormon people were afraid that they got exposed. He thought that some of the settlers might have seen that they were white people. And so he ordered that everyone be murdered. I know!
What?
So after 5 days...
Mormons were nice people.
After 5 days, they were crazy from the war. And after 5 days, the settlers, like the immigrants, Emigrants, E-M-I-G-R, emigrants. They're running out of supplies and food and water.
Right.
So here come the Mormons dressed as natives with the white flag saying peace, and they're like, oh yes, come into our camp. And then they killed them all.
Oh my word.
120 adults and older kids, and 17 children under 7 were saved and adopted by the Mormons.
Oh, that's awesome.
It took until after the Civil War, 1874, before there were 9 indictments. Only one guy actually went to trial, the head guy, John D. Lee. He was killed by a firing squad on March 23rd in 1877.
As he should have been.
Took 20 years to kill him. Anyway.
Took 20 years to kill him.
Who knew about all that kind of stuff?
Wow. No wonder the Civil War happened.
Then I started searching about Canadian history thinking, why do I always talk about the Americans? We don't kill each other like they did. So
which is awesome.
Us. Yeah.
Good for us. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all a good thing.
Do you have anything light to talk about?
Kanye West is moving.
To where? To Ste. Marie?
No. He bought a massive ranch.
Of course he did.
In Wyoming. For $14 million. And he's actually touring some elementary schools there.
That's nice of him.
Yeah. No, for his own kids. Like he's touring to
I thought he was bringing school tours in to see his $14 million property.
No.
That's what he bought?
That's, yeah.
Is that a mountain in the background? What is that in the background?
Yeah, a mountain.
He bought a mountain.
Yeah.
And all the land. He needs to fix his driveway. It looks like it's
going to...
And
you know what? He needs to get a bigger house.
That's
Kanye.
Jesus. That's what he calls himself, right?
That was cute, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, what?
So he, it's called Monster Lake Ranch. 45,000 acres.
I don't even know. I can't even imagine how big that is. That's like how big is a province? How big is a country?
Like a double lot is nice. 45,000 acres.
But you know what?
I love the mountain.
He's going to make sure that nobody touches that land. You know that, Kanye.
Yes. Oh gosh.
Unless he puts like a sound studio in there or something.
Yeah, and then he'll have tons of people going.
I'm obsessed with the Brady Bunch house.
Are you? I'm not.
I didn't get a chance to tell Michael this, but in your email, Michael, I sent you a link to this website that shows, and maybe in the next segment we can show. Luann, did you know what they did? Did I tell you the story?
They went
the
in.
Property Brother guys.
Yes, yeah.
They went and they renovated the actual home to make it look like the interior.
It was a whole TV series.
I know.
Yes.
Have you watched it?
No.
Is it on yet? I gotta find it.
Yeah, it's on. You can find it.
I want to find. I love the Brady Bunch.
When they come
Friday
back,
nights, we'd have
when they come back into the house,
did they cry?
And like the girls walking into their bedroom was one that I remember, and they were just like overwhelmed.
Wow.
And some of them.
Oh, he found it. That's the original house. I mean, that's from the movies. Now go to the next picture. Well, that's all he has. Okay,
so,
we're gonna get them.
You know, Marsha. She actually helped with the destruction inside.
Jan did?
Yes.
Okay, that's what it looked.
Marsha and Jan
did.
and the two of the brothers helped inside to tear down walls.
You can't believe what they had to do.
Oh,
we have to wrap it up. My goodness, Nick Brash. You think? Can you feel the energy? There they are on the staircase. Okay, enough. Save that for the next segment. Okay, Nick Brash is coming up. It's an amazing story. You're gonna love it. It's inspirational and it's a Wellness Wednesday story. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
And then Emily Wilkinson is on, the second guest. She has this strange sort of condition, something or other. I said it yesterday for the promo. I can't pronounce it again. I need her help. But she's going to talk to us about this condition that she has. And also, it's No News is Good News Day, so you can go home. We don't need you to do the news.
Awesome. See ya.
No, she'll have the news lead. Please stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
It's not always this obvious when young people need help. For 30 years, we've shown up for youth. With your donation, you can too.
Prescription drugs. When used properly, they can help. But last year, more than 80,000 Canadian kids used them to get high, even though it can be very dangerous. Prescription drug abuse. It can damage a teen for life. Get the facts and talk with your kids about prescription drug abuse. Visit canada.ca/drug prevention. A message from the Government of Canada.
Listen up, Canada. We need to talk.
Didn't you make us a promise?
You said kids are the future of Canada.
In 1989, you promised that no kid in our country would live in poverty.
But 1 in 7 of us still do.
1 in 7.
We don't care whose fault it is. We just really, really need your help to fix it.
You made a promise.
You have to keep it.
Mornings with Luann and Tim. Okay, this is Nick Brash, who, as far as I'm concerned, has the value of about 3 great cups of coffee.
Thanks, Tim.
No, but you know what? It's mostly about the energy that you have about running, about the event,
baby.
about what you do.
About the location.
Tell us Nick Brash came to us from Southern Ontario, Kingston area.
Kingston.
When you arrived in Sault Ste. Marie, you didn't look like this?
No, I had a couple extra LBs on. That's a good way to put it. About 270 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you not 270 pounds of vital health?
No, mostly chips and beer.
On your way to diabetes is what the doctor said?
I was fast tracking, absolutely.
So the doctor said to you, Nick,
you have 2 choices. Either continue and get your diabetes, that's no problem, that'll happen easily, or make a change. So I made the change.
Okay, why running?
It's always been my favorite activity to do when I have been an active person, but I mean, getting back into it after gaining so much weight, it had to start at 5 minutes, had to start to add another minute.
This is the part of your story that I love, because to me, that is doable.
Yes.
You started off in small increments, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then worked your way up.
Yeah.
And you enjoyed it because you were running trails, right? Were you always running trails?
No, I was a road guy.
Okay, road runner.
Yeah, but I happened to purchase a home that ended up being right beside 160 kilometers of beautiful backcountry trail.
You're in Sault Ste. Marie?
Well, north of the city, just in Gooley River.
You live in Gooley?
I live right beside the Stokely Creek Lodge.
Goole again.
You got it. Giver, Gooley River.
So you, right outside your doors, you start running the trails.
Absolutely.
And then as you're running, you're going, man, this is freaking gorgeous.
It is. I kept wanting to explore more and more of the trail system so I could say I've been to it all. And little did I know, I was gaining a physical fitness that was helping me shed the pounds, and just it was all thanks to scenes like this, the beautiful Algoma Highlands.
The view behind us is the Algoma Highlands. That's part of where you run.
That's the view from King Mountain up there.
It's a lot of combination. Like so, there's King Mountain is one area, and then another one is and this is run by the Hiawatha Highlands.
That's in town here, which is also a fantastic location.
Okay.
But none of this could happen.
We just saw another picture. Okay. Anyway, none of this. What?
None of this. I wouldn't even be sitting here with you today unless I had the support from the Algoma Highlands Conservancy.
That's the one I meant to say.
Right.
Algoma Highlands Conservancy.
Yes.
They're the ones who took over King Mountain.
They have been gifted some of the most beautiful landscapes in our area.
Okay.
And they are protectors of the land, and they are silent sport enthusiasts. So no power sports out there.
Silent sport enthusiasts.
Exactly.
That's a great term.
It is. And with their support, they allowed us to put together something that's going to be able to showcase our area for people that have never been here and people that live here that have never seen it, like you.
Me, who've never.
Exactly.
And maybe let's talk about the trails now. So there's some of where you run is privately owned too.
That's right.
So you've gone ahead and you've actually talked to some of the landowners, and you've made it okay for this event that we're going to talk about to take place on these trails. So did you put together the different kilometers of trails that that are involved in this?
I have been carefully building these race routes over the past 4 years running back there.
Okay.
And thinking what would be the most challenging and the most beautiful for each of the distances. And we've got a 5K, a 15K, a 32K, and then we move into what are called ultra marathon distances at 55 and 83.
Ultra is the U on this hat. I'm going to hold this up over here, Alex. This is the hat that Nick gifted us. Thank you, Nick.
Hey.
Luann and I each got one.
Absolutely.
U stands for ultra.
Trail.
T stands for trail. Ultra trail.
Stokely Creek, baby.
Stokely Creek, baby. Okay, so.
You're here to wreck your hair, Tim.
It's okay. No, my hair bounces right back. My bounces right back. Trust me. Luann will have hat head, but we'll be fine. Okay, so you also discovered.
Yep.
While you're doing your trail running, you're losing your weight, you're getting healthy, you're making connections and friends. You've obviously met a lot of people who also trail run.
And bears.
Which is the name of your company. You called your company what?
Bear in Mind Running. Bear in Mind Running.
Bear in mind, because when he's running, he always has the bears in the back of his mind.
You got it.
So clever.
Yeah.
You remind me of the guy from Amazing Race Canada, John.
I've heard that before.
You do, and I just watched the season finale yesterday. He's got energy too, and he's an athlete. Anyway, okay, so then you discovered that these trails that you're running on and the amount of kilometers or whatever you're putting in, you're qualifying for something. Tell me.
Well, I entered into a couple of races because I had this bucket list item to go to Iceland, and it was only just to go to Iceland. But then I decided that since I'd been running, why not do a marathon there? I looked up the marathon in Iceland, and they have a very small downtown area, which is a road run. And on that same website was a link to the Icelandic Highlands Trail Running Ultra Race. I didn't even know what ultra meant, so I clicked on that, and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, that's it. That's the bucket list item I need to cross off. So I went to Iceland.
You did?
I ran 55 kilometers through the Icelandic Highlands, through rain, sleet, snow, the most amazing windstorm that's whipping black sand in your face. Got through that in almost 7 hours.
7 hours?
After finishing that, I realized some friends had told me that, you gained points for UTMB, right?
UTMB, which stands for?
Ultra Trail Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc.
In where?
This one. France.
You got it.
You found out you qualified for a run.
A lottery.
A lot. You qualified to enter in a lottery. Okay,
Yes.
so
it's very exclusive.
they said 4 points. You're like, 4 points. What does that mean? And they said
if you get another 4 points, you're in the lottery to go to basically the World Series of trail running.
which you did.
They pulled my name. I had to go.
So, but you did the other run and you qualified, and then you put your name in the lottery.
They pulled my name.
First time.
First time,
You
yeah.
went to and then you went to France, but not just France.
No, because I get to see 3 countries in one day. We started in Italy.
Yeah.
We went through Switzerland.
Whoa.
And we finished up in downtown Chamonix, France, where they held the Olympics back in the early 1920s.
Ferme la bouche. Shut your mouth. So you end up, but you had to run through the Swiss Alps.
Oh, yeah?
He ran through the Alps. You said it was 22 hours.
22 hours.
How many
yeah.
kilometers?
It was 101 kilometers.
And I said, did you stop? He said, will you stop for food and go to the bathroom? I was like, you can't have a nap? He's like, no, you do the whole thing.
Oh, you keep going. Yeah.
But people dropped out, you said.
Yeah, it was one of the worst years for UTMB, and because of weather-wise. You get up to the top of Mont Blanc, and the weather is so much colder. There was so many times that I wanted to quit. I actually ended up partnering with this young girl from Australia who asked me how my day was. Nobody was actually talking on trail because everyone was just going through misery. But it's
so much fun.
Yeah, I hear this little voice behind me say, "How's your day, mate?" I'm like, somebody's talking to me in English. This is great. And then she put me through this mental exercise where I was able to she's like, envision yourself in the Australian outback. She's like, just think about how hot and sunny and how warm it is. And I'm like, she got me through the next 5 kilometers to the next aid station where I could meet my crew and my team that had fresh clothes, warm food for me. It was, and then it totally rejuvenated. So I owe the world to her. She helped me get through it. But I mean,
but that's a great trick.
Half of the field dropped out that day, but I got through it.
Okay, so now you decide. We have to have something like this. There's no qualifying anything in Ontario for this run in France.
That's correct. There's a big hole in the market.
So Nick creates a company, bear in mind, and you decide that you're going to put together this. It's not called a race; it's a marathon, right?
I don't want it to be. I don't want it to sound like it's just me. If I don't have this team of support with me and volunteers, it can't happen. I had the idea. That's all.
You had the idea, so and you got some sponsors.
Absolutely.
Name a couple.
Tourism Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma Kinnawabi, Destination North, the Downtown Association,
Really?
the Algoma Highlands. Obviously, you couldn't happen without them, and Stokely Creek Lodge.
See, because what Nick and I were talking about before the show was when he was explaining about how there's all of these people who do these trail runs all over the world,
right?
And that they want to go to these bigger races or bigger marathons. So, but it's hard to find the qualifying thing. So you were saying, I was saying, does Tourism Sault Ste. Marie and the EDC know about this? He's like, totally, because this is the kind of thing people would come. We would be a destination.
We get a stamp. We put on a race for after 3 years of demonstrating.
So once you get this race of yours to go for a few years,
yes, we can have the International Trail Running Association step in and do an audit of our course and go ahead and confirm what I already know, that this thing's a beast. Like, no offense to anybody that's coming on October 5th, it's not easy, and I've made it not easy on purpose. You're running a course that it will be a UTMB qualifier.
And Nick says, there's some pictures of what they're going to see as they run.
Yeah.
Nick, you said that you're not, how did you say it now? You're not fast, you're stubborn. When you run, it's not about speed, it's about endurance, and it's also about enjoying nature as you go. Look at these pictures you brought us. They're gorgeous. So now, you've already got a full registration, Nick?
We're darn close.
For your first year out?
We're darn close. You know, we want to cap it to make sure that it's intimate enough that we can deliver exactly the experience we want our runners to have.
Oh, man.
Right?
People can still enter, though.
Yeah, we've got these great swag bags that are set up for our runners that are coming, and you're going to be left out of the t-shirts if you don't sign up by Friday.
By Friday, okay.
There is one glaring absence I'm seeing on my registration list, and it's you!
See, okay. This Saturday?
And Luann, too.
No, it's October.
It looked like Luann tripped on the way out, actually, so maybe she isn't interested in running, but...
We have time to register still, because it's not till October the 5th, did you say?
October 5th, yes.
Okay, where do we go, online?
Online, UTStokelyCreek.com.
Hey, look at there's a website right there.
There we go, absolutely.
Ultra Trail Stokely Creek. It's saying that I have to go. We have to do our draw now.
That's it.
Wait, is there more stuff we have to talk about real quick. Humane Society.
Oh yeah, we're giving a portion of our proceeds to the
He
Humane
says a
Society.
portion of our losses to the Humane Society because first year out.
First year small business, obviously we're not making money.
You're doing this beautiful thing.
Our friend Dan Grisdale is our race photographer, and he is obviously one of the premier photographers and documentarians of Algoma in the region. We're so excited to have Dan as our photographer.
Go to this camera over here.
He's donated this picture,
beautiful photo
of downtown Sioux on the boardwalk.
Boardwalk is gorgeous.
Oh yeah. All you had to do was like and share and mention on Facebook, and Tim's gonna pull a name here. We'll contact you after.
Right out.
There we go.
Like this.
All right.
It's this one, and the winner it's Chris Schoch. Is that how you say it? Or
I think so. S-C-H-O-C-H.
Chris, S-C-H-O-C-H. You have now won this beautiful framed photo.
Yes.
Okay, listen, we gotta go. Nick, I feel like I want to spend more time with you.
Well, let's do it again sometime. How about next year?
Well, maybe come back. I don't know. Maybe you could even come back before October the 5th and talk about it some more.
I'm available.
Okay, maybe because don't you feel like you should be back on the show? I feel like you should be a co-host. Okay, we gotta go.
Thank you so much, sir. Enjoy the hat.
Thanks for the excitement. We'll be back with Luann after this. I can't wait. I wanna let go. I wanna let go. Don't you love it when our guests swag?
Absolutely. I put it on so that I can get some of his energy.
I know. So it's John Montgomery is the name of it. He reminds me of John Montgomery from the Amazing Race Canada, which
Alex came up with that. That's
I just watched last night, by the way.
Really?
The season finale of the Amazing Race Canada.
Two-spirited couple.
Two-spirited couple.
Yeah.
The married Indigenous guys won the race.
Yeah, it was so. They were so excited.
Wearing their skirts.
Yeah. Did they?
They had their gay pride skirts. They all of their attire was sort of Indigenous flavored with LGBTQ colors. It was so cool.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, congratulations to those guys. I'd like to meet them. They were fun.
Yeah.
Also, we want to thank we have another sponsor this month, as we've mentioned. It's the 3rd annual State of the North Conference taking place at the Delta Hotel here in Sault Ste. Marie on September the 26th. Anyone is welcome to go. You can check out their website, www.stateofthenorth.ca, and it basically is put on by the Northern Policy Institute. It's all about how we can make Sault Ste. Marie more vital, more attractive to people who want to migrate here. Everything from Indigenous issues to economy, environment, demographics, infrastructure. They're looking for our input and our say.
It's a think tank.
It is. And they take all the data and all the stuff and they put it all together and they come out with a report at the end that is nonpartisan, and you can look and say, we need to do these things for our community. It's a very cool thing, and they're here in Sault Ste. Marie this year.
And sponsoring us. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very much.
Brady Bunch.
Okay, so Michael has the pictures. I can't believe how they changed the living room. That's what gets me, because the living room was iconic. It was a sunken living room.
Yeah.
Okay, now that is what it ended up as. Do you see that? That is the T.
Oh, that's what it looks like now.
That is what it looks like now, and that's a duplicate. Even the horse, like even the props, they got all the furniture. They've duplicated everything. Now show what it looked like before. No, that's the den. This was originally a kitchen. They turned the kitchen into Mike's den. Remember when the father would have them all come into the den for their chats?
Yes.
They turned the kitchen into the den.
Oh,
I don't know what he has now. He doesn't have them.
Do you have anything else?
There should have been, I don't know if he didn't. There's pictures of the before where there's a kitchen and then there's an empty living room. But
that's crazy.
Anyway, I want to watch the show.
Yeah. It's apparently awesome. It's very emotional, too.
Yes. Speaking of emotional, imagine being Gwyneth Paltrow. There's a new book out now.
Oh.
This Harvey Weinstein thing, I watched the documentary on it. Was it called Untouchable? Amazing. But Gwyneth Paltrow, one day on Saturday, July the 15th, 2017, as a matter of fact,
because she remembers,
was sitting in her home. Harvey Weinstein showed up at her house. She was afraid that he'd found out that she was the leak. So she panicked. She went and hid in her bathroom and she started texting and phone calling this friend of hers, and this friend ended up being a co-author of the book, and it's the friend who had the messages from Saturday, July the 15th, 2017.
Wow.
Panicked phone calls and messages from Gwyneth Paltrow saying, I'm locked in my own bathroom, Harvey Weinstein's in my living room, I don't know what to do. Can you imagine? Knowing his temper? Have you seen what that man was like, what he was capable of?
Oh, he's scary. Absolutely. And I'm not just talking about the way he looks either.
Oh, no. Oh, yes. So imagine there's a book coming out about this. This story just goes on and on and on and on. There's somebody else who's just come forward and said, yep.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another lady came forward.
Me too. The Me Too generation.
Me too.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So we have news coming up next.
Do we
certainly hope that
even though it's no news is good news day.
That's right. There's always good news. Look for the people who are helping. We have that right after this.
At 4:45, discover all kinds of treasures and never pay more than $5. Inventory is restocked every Saturday, and you can find anything from electronics to household items, toys, and much, much more. On Saturday, everything is $5, and the price goes down throughout the week, ending with 25 cents on Friday. We restock weekly with new items from various big box stores, so you never know what treasures you can find. Come visit us at 4:45, 2510 Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Have a great business idea but don't know where to start? Need help taking your business to the next level? C2C Business Services can be your guide in navigating the path of entrepreneurship, with services ranging from grant funding support, access to service experts, market information, and helping your business adopt new technologies to create and foster a culture of innovation for ongoing success. Call C2C Business Services and let them be your first step in taking your entrepreneurial dreams from concept to commerce. C2C Business Services is a division of the Sault Ste. Marie Innovation Center.
Minister Justin Trudeau kicks off his bid for re-election today, heading to Rideau Hall this morning to ask Governor General Julie Payette to dissolve Parliament. With that starts a 40-day campaign that will see Trudeau make the pitch to Canadians that he should be given a second term, while his opponents focus not just on why he shouldn't, but why they should have a chance at governing instead. Polls suggest the Liberals and Conservatives are running neck and neck, while the NDP and Greens are fighting for third. Rounding out the slate are the nascent People's Party of Canada, led by Maxime Bernier, and in Quebec, the Bloc Québécois. All have been campaigning unofficially for weeks now, making early policy promises while also trying to hit their rivals where it hurts, whether the broken promises of the Liberals or controversial positions held by Conservative leader Andrew Scheer. Councillor Bruni updated City Council on the status of the Sault Ste. Marie Region Conservation Authority Monday evening after a 48% province-wide cut made by the provincial government, which affected the flood erosion operations and natural hazard information sectors. Bruni acknowledged the councillors on the authority and said that they had to make some serious and hard decisions, eliminating one full-time position, reducing one full-time position to part-time and one to seasonal, as well as slashing the seasonal employee positions for the summer. This reduces staff at the SSM RCA from 8 to 6.5. Reductions also caused the cancellation of the Children's Environmental Education Program. Bruni explained that the authority will be working solely on core mandated programs, which include flood erosion, controlled maintenance, hazard management, and drinking water source protection. Councillor Shoemaker showed his support for the Conservation Authority, thanking them for not automatically burdening the municipality with the costs reduced by the government. The SSM RCA is asking for the 2019 budget to be identical for 2020, and the authority's board has approved the 2020 levy of $500,982.74 for the city of Sault Ste. Marie and $5,605.54 for Prince Township. Council approved $166,000 in economic development funding to help develop the Algoma Network Trail Monday night. Future SSM project manager Travis Anderson told Council that the idea of the trail network, which is being developed collaboratively by the EDC, Future SSM, and Tourism Sault Ste. Marie, is to attract cyclists to the Soo for a 2 to 3 day minimum. The Ant Route, as it will be known, will cover 100 kilometers throughout both city limits and the surrounding area, mostly in Conservation Authority land, with the primary trailhead at Hiawatha. Maintenance would be taken care of by the Sioux Cycling Club. This funding will be used to leverage further funding via FedNor's Canadian Experiences Fund.
Since Sunday morning, approximately 350 or so military personnel from Atlantic Canada have been deployed to various places in Nova Scotia to help restore electricity, clear roadways, evacuate residents in certain flooded areas.
Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodale and Defense Minister Harjit Sajjan visited Herring Cove to meet with residents and to talk about federal help as Nova Scotia still recovers from post-tropical storm Dorian.
Well, the Canadian Coast Guard has been deployed with helicopters to ferry personnel and equipment, as well as to assess damage to local infrastructure. Emergency crews are making good progress, but to be clear, we're still in the early days of this response. Downed trees and power lines, multiple road closures and washouts are still a very real concern. So is cell service, as we've heard loud and clear from a number of people in the course of today. Damage assessment is ongoing. In these circumstances, provincial authorities take the lead. The Government of Canada is there to offer assistance as requested by the province, and we are determined to meet every request that comes in from Nova Scotia as we have thus far.
The impact of climate change is having a drastic impact on our country, from floods to fires to hurricane response, and this is something that we need to be very mindful as a nation, and adjusting our response, and more importantly, having the preventative measures in place. I also want to highlight our Canadian Armed Forces work internationally as well with Hurricane Dorian and the impact that it had on in the Bahamas, where we do have Canadian Armed Forces personnel on the ground. We have Canadian Armed Forces Air Force personnel deploying the Jamaican Disaster Assistance Response Team as we speak, and our folks are on the ground doing the assessment if our own DART team is going to be needed, and if it is, we are prepared to deploy that as well.
The head of a group representing rural communities says high-speed internet should be declared an essential service to ensure that all Ontarians can enjoy the benefits of the digital economy. The chairman of the Rural Ontario Municipal Association, Alan Thompson, said broadband services should be treated the same as the provision of clean water, electricity, healthcare, education, and postal services. He said that making the service mandatory will bolster economic development and ensure kilometers of fiber optic cables already buried across the province by telecommunications and other private companies could be accessed for public use. Municipalities across Ontario have been grappling with the challenge of providing access to high-speed internet and cellular service for over a decade. The CRTC has said that by the end of 2021, it wants 90% of Canadian homes and businesses to have access to broadband speeds. In Ontario, an estimated 12% of the residents can't access those broadband service speeds. Thompson said dial-up or slow internet speeds are stifling job creation and hurting the rural economy, which impacts the entire province.
I'm doing whatever it takes, stopping and nothing, I'm up in your face, shaking it off, no matter the cost, I'm feeling the wind, I'm taking it all, I'm paving the way with the sweat and the blood, I'm at the top, I'm rising above, I want the gold, give me the rush, Queen Midas, I got the touch. I'm pushing, 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 I'm pushing.
Housed in a 15,000 square foot custom manufacturing facility built to produce world-class cabinetry at surprisingly affordable prices, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry brings your project from initial concept to final design. Proudly providing Northern Michigan and the Algoma region with quality hand-built cabinetry for the past 20 years. Located at 844 East 3 Mile Road, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry, making your cabinetry dreams come true.
You know what? I want to come back as Kelly Ripa. She is the cutest thing ever. She broke a Guinness World Record.
For what?
She had
I can't even imagine.
305 people stand on point as ballerinas do.
Oh, are we just look at this?
Yeah, she had them stand on point, and the rules were that you had to stand on point for 1 full minute. You could move, but you couldn't touch anybody else. So up on stage with
Kelly's on point?
Yeah.
I didn't know she took ballet.
Yeah, she was a dancer back in the day. So all these people, 305 total, broke the Guinness World Record because they stayed on point, all of them, for 1 minute or more.
Well, I would just say that whole ordeal was pointless.
No.
Really? I want to come back as Ryan Seacrest because he's rich.
I couldn't do that because I wear flip-flops.
How come Ryan, he's short, he's blonde, he talks. I have all those qualifications. Why aren't I a multimillionaire? Because he's a producer, because he's smart and he spent his money in the right places.
There you go. You answered your own question.
So I don't need you.
No, apparently you don't.
No, I don't. Hey, you know what? We need to just acknowledge today is September the 11th.
Yes.
Do you remember where you were?
18 years. I was
2001.
I was working at MCTV. But I was on a sick day.
You were.
I was sick days. I was sick that day. I called in, spoke to my news director at the time, Tony Rima, who's still working for CTV. Hi, Tony. And he said, "Have you been watching television?" And I said, "No, I'm just not feeling well." He said, "Turn the TV on." The biggest news story of the century.
Just horrific.
I could not take my eyes off the TV for the whole day.
I was lying in bed. At that time, I was not in good health myself. I was misusing substances.
Right, okay.
And I had been on a bender. And so I just remember opening my eyes and thinking that I was watching a movie. I'd only had probably about 4 hours sleep at that point because I'd been up all night doing stupid things. But anyway, I remember lying in bed, looking at this and thinking, what is this movie that I'm watching?
Right.
And then I realized, this is the news.
It felt so surreal, right?
And you know what 2001. What we always think about the Twin Towers and stuff, but you forget that 125 people died when the plane hit the Pentagon.
Yes.
And another 64 died on the plane that went down in the field in Pennsylvania, and that's when they're assuming that those were the people who took over got into the cockpit and took over, and the plane crashed, rather than flying into another building.
Right, they were worried about that.
So 2,606 lives in the Twin Towers, 125 in the Pentagon, and 64 in the field in Pennsylvania.
Unbelievable.
Awful.
It is. So our thoughts and prayers are with
thoughts and prayers, absolutely.
Everybody
affected
and are still affected, no doubt.
Oh my God, the first responders, Luann, the amount of health problems.
Yes, they're and so many people are sick. And you talk to kids who never met their parents.
Oh my gosh.
It's a whole awful situation.
Whenever I hear those kinds of stories, and even the hurricanes and the tornadoes, I always think, Sault Ste. Marie is such a safe place to live. We are located in such a...
We are just tickety-boo.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
Wait till you hear this next interview. This is wild. I'm not going to say it. Dysautonomia. Dysautonomia, I think, it's a condition.
Dysautonomia.
Wait till you hear about this. Emily is here, and she's going to talk about the fact that she has a condition that took how many years to get diagnosed, and the symptoms and stuff, and what she's had to do. It's a crazy story. That's coming up after this. Stay with us.
With over 45 years of experience, All Ontario Well Drilling offers hydrofracking and all well drilling services. Call 705-575-8088 or 705-257-9495.
Maitland Ford is a family-owned dealership that's been around with the Ford franchise since 1984.
What I love about my Ford, I love the technology. I love the way it rides, I love the way the seats hug me, and I love the control I have right at the steering wheel.
When they say that it's a true family atmosphere, it is 100%. They've been in business for close to 50 years.
Employee pricing is back. That means you pay what we pay for a Ford SUV, F-150, Ranger, or Mustang.
You pay what we pay.
Absolutely.
Who's home? Dad's home. And what's he got? Mouth-watering Little Caesars. Download Fido. Dinner? Consider it served. Little Caesars Ultimate Supreme Box Set. A 5-topping deep dish pizza with delicious Italian cheese bread. And I got it for $12. It's Little Caesars and a whole lot of tasty. Hot and ready.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim, and Emily Wilkinson joining me. Thanks for coming here. Yes. You reached out to me. Emily has a condition, dysautonomia.
Yes.
Which is like an umbrella condition. And you found this out basically because, is it hereditary? Your mother has it, but is it necessarily hereditary?
They don't know yet in Canada. They have no idea
because this is a really new thing. 1990 what? 1993, they kind of named this thing, right? Okay, so let's go back to the story of your mother, because that's where it all starts.
Yes.
Little Emily is about what?
10.
10 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
Suddenly, mom isn't feeling well.
Yeah.
What were her symptoms?
Dizziness, fatigue, just couldn't work, couldn't handle, just couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Had no energy, no strength.
Yeah.
Dizziness. A lot of dizziness, eh?
Yeah, a lot of dizziness.
Appetite? What?
Just couldn't.
Lack of appetite.
Yeah, lack of appetite, probably.
Had to take a leave from work.
Yep.
And could not get a diagnosis.
Yep.
How long did she try? How long was she seeing doctors?
It took till the October of 2013 to be diagnosed. So it started in 2009.
It took 4 years?
Yep.
Now, you tell me, that's not uncommon. What's the average wait time for somebody to get diagnosed?
6 years.
Imagine not feeling yourself for 6 years, knowing there's something wrong, and it takes that long for them to put their finger on it. One of the reasons why it takes so long is, how many doctors are there in the province of Ontario who can diagnose this?
1. 5 in the country.
1, and he's from where?
Columbia.
She says, thank goodness he moved up here, because otherwise we'd be screwed. Really, eh?
Yeah.
One guy down in Hamilton is a specialist for this particular umbrella of diseases.
Yeah.
Okay, so your mother did some work on her own, and this is how she found the doctor?
Online, yep.
Okay.
Online.
So tell me what happens.
Then she basically went to the doctors that she was seeing around here, and I think she went to Sudbury.
Yeah.
And she was like, you need to send me to this person. And then, sure enough,
did she get a referral?
Yeah,
so
finally.
She got a referral to go to Kingston?
Hamilton.
Oh, Hamilton, sorry. Okay, she goes to Hamilton, and the doctor said almost immediately, boom.
POTS, yep.
Now you say POTS.
Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome.
Once more.
Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome.
Otherwise known as?
POTS.
So he looked at her and he said, I bet you have POTS.
Yep.
Does the testing?
Did the testing. She passed out in the first 4 minutes of the test.
She passed out in the first 4 minutes?
Yep.
Is this the tilt table test?
Yes.
Okay, this is wild, you guys. Okay, so anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute because you went through it.
Yeah.
So your mother gets diagnosed then. Finally, he says to her, listen, you're not out of your mind. This is not all in your head. This is a real thing.
Yes.
And it's called?
Postural orthostatic tachycardia
which is under the umbrella of?
Dysautonomia.
Now, let's talk about what the autonomic things in our body.
So the autonomic nervous system controls everything in your body that you don't normally think about. So
things like
heart rate, digestion, temperature control, blood circulation, kidney function, and the list goes on and on and on.
These are all part of your your autonomic nervous system.
Yeah.
And hence the disease is called dysautonomia because
it is a dysfunction of the autonomic nervous system.
And it can manifest itself in a variety of different ways.
Yes.
So now little Emily is 10 years old, mom's diagnosed. Your mother still never did get to go back to work.
No.
She has been basically
out since then.
Yeah. Because she just can't. For you were about 10 years, just after your mother was diagnosed, you started maybe feeling a little thing here and there.
I was probably about 12 when we started randomly noticing the little, I don't know where, just the tremors, heart palpitations.
Heart palpitations.
I thought going up the stairs when you're with heart palpitations was normal. Turns out it's not.
No, it's not. I walk upstairs and I don't have palpitations.
Yeah.
No.
Learn that.
And at the time, imagine this. So the mother's already been diagnosed. Oh no, she hadn't been at that time, had she? No. And they're saying puberty?
Yeah, puberty. You're 12, you're a girl. This is normal. And you're, to quote the doctor, a dizzy broad.
You're just a dizzy broad. Meanwhile, as it turns out, part of your issue with dysautonomia, are you POTS as well?
Yes, and IST, which is inappropriate sinus tachycardia.
And sinus isn't this. It doesn't mean your nose, that sinus. When she says that sinus, it's actually about your heart.
Yeah, so it's the autonomic nervous system basically telling your heart to beat faster and faster and faster no matter what position you're in.
Because when your blood pools.
Yeah, so
when I stand up, my blood finds its way to my head and all the other parts of my body. When Emily stands up, not so much.
Yeah, it pools.
Which makes for you to be dizzy, nauseous, disoriented. You haven't had fainting spells. You've been lucky.
No, I've been lucky, but I've had almost like seizure-like activity.
Oh, see?
So it's not a seizure, but it's like it. It's kind of like almost similar to it.
She was in high school and she got sent to the nurse's office because she said, I'm going to faint. And they said, no, the office, the principal's office, like the office.
Yeah.
Not because we don't have high school nurses anymore. So you got sent to, so he's showing the thing on your shirt. Determined, dynamic, defiant, dignified, and dizzy. Dysautonomia. So yeah, you got sent to the office saying, she thinks she's going to faint, go to the office.
Yeah. And my mom was like, why?
Yeah.
So that happened quite a few times actually.
So eventually, your mother says, I think that you have what I have.
Yeah.
And did she go to the doctor and she went to see her annual, tell me, what? She went down for a checkup?
Dr. Guzman down in Hamilton.
Okay.
And
she said,
like, I think my daughter has this, given the symptoms. And he's like, well, I can't see her till she's 16.
Because in Ontario, they can't do the tilt table test until you're 16.
Yep.
In the States, is younger?
States will do it at like 12 years old. Maybe even younger.
Look, there's your tilt table.
Oh, they found it.
So you had to ride that? I make it sound like you're going to the fair.
Well, okay, so people sometimes when I say tilt table, they sometimes think that they're tipping you upside down and spinning you.
Yeah.
No, all they do is they're standing you up to basically simulate a regular lifetime, like while you're hooked up, just like everyday thing to stand you up.
But they're hooking you up so they can see the responses that your body is. And right away after you did tilt table, he said,
POTS.
As well as
IST. So what they did for that is the ending of the tilt table is that they, through the IV, they lay me back down first.
Yeah.
They put a medication through my body, which is in your body about 1 minute. But what it does is it increases your heart rate. They put like your age into like some formula, and they basically say how much is going to go up, basically by that formula. And they think they told me it was supposed to be 109. Mine went up to 160.
Whoa. Okay.
And they're like IST.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, but you suffered substantially. You had to be taken out of school. You had to be homeschooled.
Yep.
Because you were what?
I was too sick.
Too sick? Too weak?
Too weak. Couldn't stand up for more than a minute. Couldn't sit in class. Couldn't focus.
Couldn't focus was a big part of it.
Couldn't even sit at the kitchen table for more than 5 minutes.
Emily, so now it's how many years?
So I was diagnosed at 16 and I'm now 20. So we're at about 11 years now.
So from the beginning to now, what's happened in your life that has made a difference?
I am living with, so I am back in school. I've taken medication, physical therapy, water intake, salt, and I'm also involved with a youth ambassador organization called DYNA, which helped me with recovery and teaching me how to live with it, which I go to every day. So I'm in contact with many youth like me around the world.
Wild.
Yeah.
Is there like a website or something, Emily?
Yes, www.dynainc.org, dynainc.org.
Dyna Inc.
Yes, Dyna is in really need of funding at this point. And we might not be able to do it run it anymore at this point because they are in such need.
Okay.
So if anybody in the Sioux or surrounding areas want to do stuff to help me fundraise, that would be great.
I could help.
That would be great.
Okay. Get a hold of Emily or get a hold of me and I'll get you in touch with Emily, but you're easy to find.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, thank you for coming. Our time is up. This is amazing. What a story, right? I'm so glad you're well. 3rd year Sioux College. Yes, you've done it. Early childhood education and then hoping to get her B.Ed. Congratulations. I'm glad you found balance in your life.
Yes.
Through the tilt table. We'll be back with Luann after this on Mornings with Luann and Tim. Don't go anywhere.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Since 1899, the Machine Shop has been a unique space for innovation and creativity. Once a leading pulp and paper company, the Machine Shop was built by Francis H. Clerg, which later became part of St. Mary's Paper in 1984. After the closure of St. Mary's Paper in 2011, the Machine Shop spent 4 years vacant. In 2015, the Machine Shop reopened their doors to the community for the first time. From weddings to galas to concerts and festivals, the one-of-a-kind venue has something for everyone. We are proud to work with the community and local nonprofits to host major events such as Festival of Trees, Pearls and Plaid, an evening at Hogwarts, and more. While you're here, wind down at the Mill Steakhouse and Wine Bar for a quiet dining experience, or watch a game and try a wood fire oven pizza and local draft at the Boiler Room. Don't forget to save room for house-made gelato and baked goods at the Gelato Mill. For more information on the Machine Shop events, history, and restaurants, visit machineshopinc.ca. 3 great places, 1 historic venue.
So much really good information this morning. Thank you, Mr. Murphy.
I'm amazing. My guests are amazing. Our show is amazing.
Your guests are amazing. And we would like to say a huge thank you to KC Security for sponsoring the show this morning. Appreciate it so much. He's okay. He's not amazing. His guests are amazing.
I'll come back tomorrow and try to be more amazing.
Yeah, good luck with that. Have a great day. See you soon. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for joining us. It's Bump Slide Thursday. Woohoo!
Thank you.